I have made copies of some of my windows and my doors here. You don't have to do that. You could actually make the copies later if you wanted to, and I'll show you both ways. Before I get started though, I'm going to get rid of some of these extraneous guidelines. You might have noticed that if I try to click on these guidelines with the eraser tool, they won't go away. Well, that's because they're part of the group for the house. So I actually have to select the house, go into edit mode, and then I can come in with the eraser tool and erase these guidelines. I don't really need these anymore, and if there is something I do need, I can always put them back at the last minute. So now I'm going to click outside the group to close it. All of these windows are grouped, so I don't need to be in edit mode anymore for the main house. So now we can put our windows into our house. I'll start with these windows. I changed the color of these windows. You can do it before or after. It's totally up to you. Because they're grouped, it's very easy to change the colors. I have 5 of these windows, and 2 of them are facing this direction, and the other 3 are facing this direction. So I could have done this 2 ways. I could have made copies of all of them in this direction, or I could have made 2 copies and rotated one of them. I'll show you how that works. I'm going to use my rotation tool, which is underneath my move tool. I'm going to mouse over one of my windows. I'm going to click the up arrow just to make sure that it's locked. I'm going to click to anchor, pull away on the axis. This is locking to the green axis, and then make my rotation. And I can type in 90 degrees, or I can just look at the angle, and if it's 90 degrees, I'm going to hit OK. I now have a window that's facing this direction, and I can use that one for these. I can also use this window facing me for the windows in the front there. So this is going to be very easy. I'm going to select the window, use the move tool, and remember, when you use the move tool, you're going to want to go from a corner to a corner. You might remember that from when we did the furniture project. So I'm going to grab the corner here, and I'm going to put this window into the opening. And then I'm going to make a copy. So I'm going to select it, hit the Option key, and again, grabbing that corner, I'm going to pull a copy and lock it into that corner. Now, if you look closely at windows, one of the things that you might notice is that the windows protrude a little bit. And so I'm just going to double check my model here. You can see on the back that it is poking inside the wall. Well, obviously I don't want that. And I want to make sure that I have a little bit poking outside of the wall and in the inside of the wall because I designed them that way. When I made these windows, I made it so that the windows would be sticking out 1 inch outside of the wall. So I'm going to select the window, click the move tool, go into the corner here, and using my arrow key, I'm going to click the left arrow to anchor this in the green axis. I'm going to start to pull this out, and I'm going to type in 1 inch and hit enter. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to select it, select the corner, hold the left arrow key and start to pull it out, and type in 1 inch. And now I'm going to deselect that. So now I'm going to bring this one over. I'm going to try to grab that corner and lining it up with this corner. I'm going to drop it. Now I'm going to select it again. And now I'm going to lock it. I'm going to hold the right arrow key so that it pulls in the red axis, and I'm going to type in 1 inch. And now it's protruding out 1 inch on both sides. My computer is really being lacky. If you end up getting kind of lost in your model, go here underneath the orbit tool and click this magnifying tool with the 3 arrows on it. This is called Zoom Extents, and it will bring you back to the orientation of where those axes all come together. I'm going to click this again. I'm going to pull a copy. So let's try that. I'm going to click it, hold the Option key down, and I'm going to try to pull a copy. My computer seems to be really laggy, so I'm going to put that there. Now I'm going to slide over a little bit, and I'm going to select that corner again. I'm going to hold the right arrow key, and I'm going to pull, and I'm going to type in 1 inch. Now the trick with this is that I'm only pulling and then I let go of the mouse. If I click, pull, and click again, then that won't work. The typing in thing won't work. So now I'm going to flip over to the other side and I'm going to orient myself so that I can see this well. I'm going to click the move tool again. Now I'm going to go into that corner just like I did before. I'm going to click it, hold the option key, drag, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to select this, click the move tool, get into the corner here, and this time I'm going to hold the left arrow key. I'm going to pull and type in 1 inch, and there we go. So those windows are all placed where they need to be. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and I'm going to put all my windows in. I'm also going to change the colors here so that all the windows will match and the doors. Remember, if you're having trouble orienting the protractor to the direction you want it to go to, you can also use the arrow keys. The up arrow key will orient the protractor to the blue axis. So click to anchor, drag away. Remember, when you drag away, you want to make sure it's on the axis, and then click and then pull the direction you want to move it to. And you can type in 90 and click enter as well. Again, we're going to move from a corner to a corner. Now with the doors, they can just fit right into the area where you want to put them. You don't have to pull them out. Now I'm going to put in my interior doors. You might remember that this one is a pocket door here, and this one is a barn door. In either case, I need to pull the wall over because the height of the door is 7 feet and I need it to fit in there. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to measure up from the floor up 7 feet with a guideline so that I know where to put my door. So in order to do this, I have to go into the edit mode again because I need to modify the walls here. So I'm going to select the walls. I'm going to double click to get into the edit mode. And now I'm going to take my guideline tool. I might have to zoom in to get that edge point right there. I'm going to click on it and I'm going to drag up in the blue axis and I'm going to type in 7 feet. Now I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to orient myself so that I can see everything. Then I'm going to take my pencil tool and I'm going to draw a line going across those two. Now that makes a section that I can push and pull across that door. So I want to make sure we want that to meet right in the edge there. I may leave that there on the side because that's actually where the shower is going to go. I'm just going to delete it on the top and on the opposite end. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Push and pull that. And make sure that it goes right to the edge. Now I'm going to close this group here. And you can see the windows come back. See if I can lock it. So I may have to fiddle with this a little bit, but at least I can get the door in, and I'm also going to put the pocket door on the other side. So as we maneuver in tighter spaces, something that we can do in SketchUp is change the field of view. That is located underneath the Scenes tab. You have to click on that and you might see it like this. It's underneath the arrow. So you have to click this arrow and here you'll see field of view. The default is 35, but you can also use the slider and you can see what it does. It actually opens up your model so that it expands your field of view. If you think about how you see something in real life, your field of view is about 180 degrees, right? Because you can see out the sides of your eyes. So this little feature can be really helpful when it comes time to place objects in your house. One of the things about navigating like this is that if you go through walls and things, it can take a minute to get oriented. So you can always click zoom intense, and that brings you back to the outside and where the axes meet. So here I also added the pocket door. What I did was I went in and I actually cut a 3-foot by 7-foot hole into the edge of the wall there and fit the door in there. So it actually looks like it fits. If I really wanted to, I could push it all the way back as well. Now I've got all my windows and doors in my model, and I can start to concentrate on working with some of the materials. And we'll talk about that in the next video.